Fundamentally, what we do is we help enterprises rapidly deliver leadership development that creates measurable impact in ways that have not been previously possible. And we do that by partnering with elite business schools to take what have been on-campus executive education experiences. We bring those fully online, and then we offer them into the corporate enterprise in a very enterprise-friendly model. So companies are buying upfront annual subscriptions, they're purchasing credits, and then they can allocate those credits to any of the programs that we offer across our portfolio. So we currently offer 10 different programs across 6 top schools, in addition to the schools you see here. Most recently, we've added Wharton to the school family. And so it really is an opportunity for a different kind type of experience for the types of organizations that we work with, which are typically Fortune 1000 companies. This gives you a sense of some of our client base. We work with about 120 organizations at this point. What you'll notice here is that there's really no industry skew. This is a universal problem that affects companies across a wide range of industries. You would also, if you looked inside these companies, see that each of our programs really don't have any sort of functional skew either. So we're really expert at building cross-industry, cross-functional, broadly scalable programs. We've literally only developed those 10 programs. We've never created a stitch of custom content for any of the clients that we work with. So to give you a little sense of the market is absolutely massive, about $130 billion globally spent every year on learning and development. And the plurality of that spend is really in the leadership and management space, and that's what we target. So all of our programs are really sort of built around leadership and management principles. And in a second, I'll get to the types of executives that we serve within those organizations. And what's happening is that spend is quickly moving online, right? In-person development is super expensive. It's traditionally been very difficult to measure the business impact of your investments, which is something we focus on very much, and it really doesn't scale. If you look at the average program for leadership development in a large organization that's structured over maybe 6 or 12 months, it might include anywhere from a dozen to 20 different smaller vendors that you're trying to patch together into a solution. And so we're able to offer multiple programs across a wide range of areas, the best brands in the world, in a very predictable and enterprise-friendly structure, and so we solve a lot of those scalability challenges for our clients. As a result of the fact that you have some of these inherent limitations with in-person development, you're seeing more and more of that spend move online, and that's fundamentally what our business is designed to capture. However, we kind of capture a different part of the corporate pyramid than you traditionally see. So if you think about how companies approach leadership development, they know what they're going to do for the top of the pyramid. That's traditionally where you've had in-person development at many of the great schools we work with. That's where you've had coaching. It's a do whatever it takes type of strategy for very few individuals that are critical to the company at that given moment. At the bottom of the pyramid is traditionally where online has played, right? So that's self-serve types of programs. Great content from Skillsoft, Lynda, Udacity, Coursera. Those are great companies, but they don't really address that management level within organizations. So fundamentally, what makes us different is that we focus on that middle management, that vice president through manager level in organizations. They require a unique combination of scalability of the delivery with the quality and management sort of calibration of the content and the experience. And so a lot of what we do is really different in kind because we target that population, and this is a challenge that companies have had for a long time. The way they typically solve this challenge is by sort of segmenting 1 to 2% of this population and treating them as high potentials. We allow them to get much more reach across this population and scale. Now, what's unique about our value proposition for this population is it's very focused on business outcomes. Increasingly, companies are focused on how learning and development is impacting the bottom line for their organizations and meeting the specific needs of businesses, right, rather than simply learning and development objectives. And that's where we really shine. So every program that we have is built in the same structure. Everyone is working on a personal business challenge where they're applying the principles of the program to a real-world opportunity or challenge within the organization. And as a result of that, we can measure, coming out of the programs, the extent to which those specific business projects have actually been implemented in our partner organization. So imagine if you're a company, you put 100 executives through our program, you literally have 100 projects in your project pipeline. we're forecasting the financial impact of those projects, and then we're going back 3, 6, and 12 months after programs are over, and we're lining up that forecast to the actual impact in the organization. And on average, we're able to tell our clients that for every dollar they invest, they can expect to get about $104 in return. As I mentioned, we do that through the consistency of our model. So all of the programs that we offer are built in that same structure. They're either 6 and 3 weeks or 3 weeks in length. You're working on a business project. You're going through the same types of activities week to week within the program. And so if you're a company, you have a very predictable set of outcomes. If you've achieved successful outcomes in one of our programs, you can be confident that you're going to achieve it across our portfolio of programs. This just gives you a sense of how we think about that project pipeline that I mentioned. So this is actually from our fall 2016 programs. If you looked at the 1,300 executives that went through our programs, their project pipeline represented potential value of about $12.2 billion. Our forecasting model then took and discounted that down based on implementation rates, the extent to which they're successful in creating measurable ROI. And at the end of the day, on about $3.4 million in investment, companies got about $350 million in return. So that's the level of precision that we can get to with our solution. It's different in kind in the industry. And this is sort of an example of a client, right? 300 executives through a program, traditionally in person, taking their people out of the business for thousands of days. With ExecOnline, out of the business for 0 days, you can literally fund our program for the cost of travel for the in-person program, and you've got measurable results at the end of the day. The key metrics of the business are extremely strong. We're growing about 120% year over year from a revenue perspective. We'll do about $14.5 million in revenue this year across our 120 clients. We're retaining and growing our clients at a significant rate, about negative 18% churn on an annual basis, and we've got a payback period of about 16.5 months on customers, right? So really, the efficiency metrics that you need to scale the business very rapidly. And then finally, very experienced team. All with experience in the enterprise space as well as in the online education space. We're bringing those two experiences together to create a different in-kind type of learning and development solution for our clients. So Stephen Bailey, founder and CEO of ExecOnline, we're raising our Series B financing right now and would love to speak to anyone either on that side or anyone who you think could be a partner in any way. Thank you. Appreciate it.